Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I just realized this week is Valentine's. I'm still doing the self-love exercises. I'm still going to talk about self-love this month. This month, I don't care if I bore you guys with the self-love conversation until somebody gets it. Self-love, for me, I explained to you guys the complexity of my definition of self-love, which in the last video was the difference between obedience and actually self-love. Going through that phase allowed me to identify the things that I was lacking within myself, which is hard to go within and do that self-introspection. I want to shun away from is actually accepting the realities of what we've allowed, not from others, but within ourselves, the conversations we have with ourselves, whether we have enough compassion for ourselves or enough empathy for ourselves. This week's exercise seems so cliche, but it's so important, and it got me to look within myself. Writing has been something that I've always enjoyed, let alone writing letters. When I lose somebody dearly to me via death or a relationship, my grieving stage is writing a letter. And this also kind of feel like a grieving stage. It's a grieving stage of what I thought of myself versus what I want to create of myself. And it's also a grieving stage because now I have to forgive myself, because that's what I did with my letter. I just didn't write about, oh my gosh, I'm awesome, I'm this, I'm that. I had to sit down with myself and look at the things that I could have changed. And I've always known these things, and I was so focused on the things that I could have changed that I forgot to forgive myself. I know I'm a big critic of myself. Like, my brain is like, I know I should be doing more. I know what I'm capable of. I know we all do. We all have that thing that we should be doing more. We should be kinder. We should be nicer, not just to other people, but to ourselves. Do you ever sit down with yourself and be like, what did I do nice for myself this week? Have I done the things for myself that I want others to do for me, whether it's a partner or a friend? If you're not doing these things alone, I feel like doing it with other people is kind of a codependency energy that's going on. I don't know. So just going through these things of loving, not just loving yourself, but also acknowledging the things within yourself that you haven't accomplished, which you might want to forgive yourself. Not just goals. Maybe if you wanted to be kinder, maybe if you wanted to let go of the past, or maybe you've grown. Maybe there's things that you used to do that you look back and you're like, oh my god, I did that. So whatever it is that you need to forgive yourself, I feel like writing a letter to yourself. But the letter to myself is pretty much, I acknowledge that I'm forgiving myself for all the things that I did not accomplish that I wanted to accomplish by the time I got here. This letter was me forgiving myself for all the things that I assumed I should have accomplished by now. But most of all, the letter is also a vow to myself. This is really like I would write it to a lover. I know it sounds so weird, but a lover that I'm forgiving, a lover that I'm showing compassion to, a lover I'm showing empathy to, and it gives me the vibe of I'm letting you back in and we're going to evolve together. That's what I started with. Like, I should have made more time for myself. I'm always with myself. Why would I make time for myself? And then I just go on about all the things that I forgive myself for. The most of all is the honor to myself. The honor that I would make to myself. I'm not going to tell you guys what I wrote for myself, but it's just to give you guys an insight on what this letter should be like and why I wrote this letter. Just start with what you want to forgive yourself for, and then go on to what you want to accomplish. Write down everything that people have misjudged you about and things that you believed about yourself. Write down everything and ask yourself for forgiveness for believing those things, for repeating those things, and who knows, even for saying those things out loud about yourself, because after some time you really start believing these things. Forgive yourself for that. And then make a vow to yourself. Vow you're going to love yourself unconditionally. You're going to have so much compassion and empathy. Everybody has different things within themselves that they want to change, that they want to acknowledge, that they want to do better. And I feel like this letter has definitely helped me figure out what I need to do. And it's so perfect. February is the beginning of the year. You make this vow, and then the whole of 2021, you know what you want. Write down everything about yourself that you want to let go and grieve and vow. Because honestly, there is no handbook to self-love. Not just the vows, but also focusing on the shadow work. My selfishness, my stubbornness, my bossiness, my assertiveness. Yeah, my assertiveness. I think like my assertiveness is not a bad thing. Like, I know what I want and I get what I want. I mean, we all have to have that mindset, right? Yeah. Write this letter to yourself, and then on the 14th of February, open up the letter. Whether you're single or not, because I feel like self-love has got nothing to do with your partner, because you can be in a relationship and you can be miserable as hell. I feel like people who are in relationships or unstable relationship or toxic relationship are more miserable than single people, which is probably like 80% of the population. Because once, I feel like the forgiveness part of it is like you letting it go. And I have my letter here, but I also like to like visually do things. I know it sounds so weird, but if I write a letter like this one, I'll write it, and as you can see, like this is about to get torn. Write your little letter, and I'll probably burn this, but I feel like burning it would make a better option. There's just something about burning your words, and just like, especially when it has negativity in it, like it's like a ceremony within yourself. When you're writing the negative things about yourself that you want to let go and move on from, write how it's been disruptive your life. And so I can say all my negative stuff, I wrote down like how it has not just messed me up within myself, how I've lost opportunities, and then the positive things I wrote how it's helped me to move forward, how it's helped me to become a better person. So make sure when you're writing the positive things in your letter and the negative things, you're also writing how it's helped you to move on and how it's helped you to elevate or move back, whatever it is. These things of acknowledgement is like going deep within yourself and looking like, oh my gosh, my procrastination did this, my negative thinking did this, my inner critic did this, my anxiety did this. How can I change these things? And then when you go to all the positive things, you look at what it's done for you too. This self-love thing is not a thing to make you feel bad about yourself. It's a thing to acknowledge it, like, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I've been carrying on. And then you take the next step, is like how I'm going to change. And write this letter with love. You're reinventing yourself. You're starting a whole new relationship with yourself. Self-love. Self-love. I wish we had a handbook in school for somebody to be like, this is how you love yourself, this is how you take care of yourself, this is the formula to this, instead of learning about enzyme and black holes and all this stuff in biology. We could have learned a little bit more about ourselves, our brains, our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts. Energy, not just energy within atoms and neutrons, energy within ourselves, the vibrations we feel with ourselves, so that as humans and as souls we could have better connections. But it starts with going within ourselves. Don't forget to love yourself a little harder this week. Don't forget to love people around you a little harder. Write your letter. Do your affirmations. Write your 5 acknowledgements every day, or whenever you remember. Just write 5 things you acknowledge about yourself. And then this letter, write it now, and then end of the month write it again, and see if there's a difference within yourself. See if you've changed within 2 weeks, and see what else you want to work within yourself. I mean, there's always room for self-improvement. I just feel like staying the same is so boring. What's life without playing a little bit with your soul? What's life without loving and connections and intimacy? Because I feel like this is being vulnerable, being intimate with yourself. And a lot of people, it makes them hard to be intimate with other people because they can't even do it with themselves. You can't even have a conversation with yourself to know what you like about yourself and what you don't like about yourself. And then when you meet other people, you're only telling them what you like about yourself. You're not telling them about your flaws because you haven't acknowledged them. And it's hard for you to acknowledge them because you're going to feel like other people can see it when they can't see it, but you are projecting it. So take time for yourself. With that being said, I hope you guys do the exercise. I hope you guys take the time to at least write this letter to yourself. Happy Valentine's, happy love month. Ooh, I love love. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. I feel like we need to focus on why we're here. Forget the noise. Forget the accomplishments. Forget. At the end of the day, we're all here just to love each other. So please like, subscribe, and share. And comment too. And we'll catch up soon. Thank you and bye.